Aimsy here of Aimsy's Antics. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're well today because I have another crafty project to share with you. And in this week's video, I'm having a go at making earrings using polymer clay, and you can sort of see a sneak peek of them here. Now I bought a craft kit, which I can link up above, a few months ago to have a go at trying out some new crafts, and the polymer earrings was one of them. So I thought I would share with you my process of making these earrings, as well as showing you my mistakes and fails, because there was quite a few. So let's get to crafting. So here is the kit. Now the first thing you notice is the polymer clay, which is here in this little bag, and I have gone for the neutral clay kit, but you can get two other blends. I think it was neon and pastel, but I felt like this one was a bit more me and would fit with a bit more of my clothing, but the other ones were gorgeous as well. So yeah, I think you can buy add-ons, so you can buy it individually. So if you do like this kit, then you can go for purchasing more from Carolee. So there's the clay. You also get a roller, so this is like a little rolling pin to roll out that clay with, which is great because you don't want to be using your baking rolling pin to roll out your clay. That's just cross-contamination. You don't want to ruin your food or anything with any contaminated clay. So there we go, there's a roller. You also get some shapes to cut out, or shape cutters. So we have a square one, a star one, and a hexagon one. So these are going to make some really nice shapes in that polymer clay to really get creative in making these earrings. So let's stack them together there. Let's put them one to one side. You also get in this little kit, let's have a look, things to actually make the earrings with. So you get some cards that you can put your earrings on. So say like you're going to sell them, you can put some holes and thread the earrings through onto there. You also get a little cocktail stick, which will help with the clay craft. Some super glue, so this will help to stick everything together that you need it to stick. And you also get various different earring backings to create. Let me just get the listen up. So you get different earring backings, and included in this is 4 studs, hoops, jump rings and closures to make the 6 pair of earrings. So in there is all the different bits for the earrings that you need. And finally there is a little bit of sandpaper in the kit so that you can sand down your designs once they have been baked. And finally in the kit you have a step-by-step guide of how to create your earrings, as well as some top tips of what to follow, because different ovens and everything have different temperatures, fan assistant and all that, so you have to really test out how you want to bake the polymer clay. But yes, this is going to be a very exciting kit to have a go at. So first things first is preparing the area that I'm going to be making the clay on. So I'm using this marble slab that I often use in different photo shoots and placing different bits onto, and just wrapping it in greaseproof paper. And the idea behind this is greaseproof paper is non-stick, so hopefully the clay wouldn't stick to this when I was rolling it out, and made it easier to work with. Then it is time to select the piece of clay that I want, and I'm just using a craft knife here to cut a little piece off. And as you can see, the clay does come in these blocks and they are quite hard, so you need to do something called conditioning, which is basically rubbing it into your hands, really working it, getting it a little bit warm, and it just makes it more pliable and easy to work with. And then once the clay is conditioned, it is time to roll it out so that we can cut out the various shapes for the earrings. Now what I have read when I'm looking up different polymer clay crafts is that you can use 2 level pieces on either side of the clay, and when rolling it you can roll it in the same thickness. Now I didn't have the craft sticks that they recommended, so I used metal skewers, and I think this may be where I went a little bit wrong and made some mistakes, maybe making the clay a little bit too thin. And then I used the hexagon shaped cutter to cut out some little hexagon pieces of clay, and these will make up some part of the dangly earrings, or that's the hope anyway. I did find that they did stick a little bit in the cutter, so what I did was use the chopstick just to help release it from that cutter, and then I repeated the same process using that turquoisey blue type clay and made some more hexagons. And then I thought I would try and get a little bit more fancy. So what I'm going to try and do here is make a marble effect with that white clay and that turquoisey coloured. As you can see, the turquoise colour does come off on your hands quite a bit, so it can taint the colour of the white. But what I'm doing is just conditioning both pieces and then rolling them out into a thin sausage piece. And in the end, I have 2 white sausages and 1 turquoise sausage, stacking them together as so, and then just twisting them so that the colours begin twisting, and then rolling that into 1 larger piece, folding it and rolling it again, continuing with the twisting until I get a nice bit of pattern in that clay. Once I have got the right pattern, I then just rolled it out, and as you can see, this is the marbled results, and you can see that some of that turquoisey colour has bled into the white, but I think it adds to the look. So again, I'm using the hexagon cutter just to cut them out, and then finally using that chopstick just to place some holes into these so I can place the jump rings for the earrings in. And my idea with this one was to have quite a few dangly pieces to 1 earring, but you'll see a bit later that this plan didn't quite work out. And then for the remaining earrings, I'm just using the other natural colours in this pack, so the brown and orange, and I think I do use a little bit of turquoise later on, and just trying to make another shape. So I'm going to use a star cutter for this one. So the plan was to have 2 orange stars and 2 brown stars, so they reminded me a bit of Halloween, a bit of cinnamon apple bake type stuff, and I wanted to add these together. So what I was doing was putting holes, 2 holes on the orange and 1 hole on the brown, so that I could put the jump ring on the bottom and have 2 dangly earrings. Again, this plan didn't quite work, which you'll see later on. And then I'm actually trying to do a bit more of that marbling effect and using the cutter, the square cutter, to create a square, and then cutting this down to create 2 triangles, because I thought, why not try out some funky shapes? And you can use the cutters as they are, but then also use them to make different shapes as well. And this is all the cut out shapes ready to go into the oven on a baking tray. Now what I do is put the oven on a low heat, I think it was on the lowest heat possible, and bake them for 30 minutes with this little tinfoil tin over them, because I've heard this can help it bake more evenly. Now I don't know if my clay baked evenly, it was baked enough, or maybe I worked on it too much, but this is where I started to run into problems. So the first thing to do was just sand down them edges and remove any sharp bits or uneven bits from the clay. And this is where one of the first disasters happened, because I think I might have been a little bit too rough on doing the sanding and caused one of them to break, as you can see here. So that ruined the plans for some of the earrings, but you know what, never mind, you keep going. And yes, sanding them all down, and this was the plan for that long dangly earring. So I'm just using some of the jump rings that come in the pack here, so opening them up, placing one into the top hole, and then placing this round on the earring part, so the dangly earring part, I'm not quite sure what it's called, that creates dangly earrings, so it's connected. And then the plan is to add the rest on, and I will let you see how this goes. And there was the disaster. As you can see, it snapped as I was placing on the jump rings, and this happened with a few of the earrings. So I changed the plan and just used 2 of the dangly pieces to make them even and balance out. Now what I think the problem is, maybe something was wrong with the bake here, it was too thin, or the holes just wasn't close enough to the edge to actually give enough room for that jump ring, because I found that the fastenings were quite tight, so it made the clay really rub against each other, and I think that is where some of the problems came. As you can see here, the star just snapped as I am tightening that jump ring because there's not enough room between the two pieces of clay. So yes, you live and learn. So I adapted, and then some of the hexagonal pieces that were still intact, I used some of that super glue to add on the earring backs. Now these were for like stud earrings, so using that super glue and placing them on, allowing them to dry. And as you can see, here are some of the casualties to that broken clay. But that was the process of me making polymer clay earrings and the final results.
Lightning strikes by my window, hits my chest right in the morning, like a warning. Could have slept here for days. I felt your heartbeat, felt your mouth breathe, but it's not real. We were close to see the sun, but clouds.
There you have my process of making clay earrings with polymer clay, and I did have some successes, I guess, but there was quite a few fails and mistakes, and I'm not quite sure polymer clay crafts is my forte, but I guess practice makes perfect, and I do have a little bit of clay left in my kit, so I can have another go, maybe get a few tips and tricks. If you have any, put them in the comments, and I might be able to master some better looking earrings, hopefully. But yes, let me know what you think of these in the comments below. And like I said, if you've got any tips and tricks on making polymer earrings or working with polymer clay, then do put it in them comments below. And if you've enjoyed the video, then please do give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to keep up with all my creative and crafty antics coming up onto the channel. Whilst you're there, hit that notification bell as well, because that will alert you each time my videos go live. I also have a blog, Aimsy's Antics, which is linked down below and up above for you to check out, because sometimes there's just a little bit more information over on the blogs. And with that said, I will see you in next week's video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and week and are able to do something creative and crafty, like maybe make some clay earrings, maybe a bit better than I have, and do something that makes you happy. And with that said, I will see you next time.